welcome back to the Beauty Topics podcast. I'm your host, Chantel, and I have a really beautiful and freshly tan guest sitting on my couch today. We were just comparing our tans.
We were.
Yes, because my girl Becca here has been working her little butt off, taking some strolls in the evening. Look, we live in Texas. It's hot as all get out. We try to take our little walks when the sun starts to go down so we don't die.
That is true.
But Becca, better known as Mind Body Jeans on Instagram, she is a phenomenal woman. She's a business owner, a mother, a wifey, a mompreneur, and you guys know how we love mompreneurs on this podcast.
Yep.
It's kind of our thing. So I'm so excited to introduce you to everyone. Please tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Miss Becca.
Well, thank you for the intro. My name is Becca. I'm local to Houston. I've lived here my whole life outside of some travel and study abroad stuff. I have 3 kiddos. I have 2 businesses. Officially, Mind Body Jeans is my company that does genetic testing. We do lifestyle genetic reports for all people, mainly women, especially, 35 and up, going through changes, want to learn about their bodies, want to stop dropping all the start dropping all the wellness noise out there and start actually listening to what their bodies are telling them. So we'll talk a lot about that. And then I also have a coffee shop called Della Coffee that's in Montrose. And that's been really fun because we really focus on ingredients and all of that too. So it's a fun family business.
I mean, there was one post of you with your sourdough toast with your little raspberry jam on it. And I was like, yes, come on, sourdough. Because I do have a problem with bread, Becca. Okay,
Yeah.
Your girl does love bread. So I do try to stick to I limit myself. Look, you can have 2 pieces of sourdough bread a week with some good, Kerrygold butter on there and some raspberry preserves. And that is my treat. That is my jam. I would pick that over cake.
I would pick sourdough over cake too. And also you can make cake sourdough. So that's the beauty of it is you can make anything sourdough.
Shut the front door.
You can. Cookies, cake, you can do sourdough pancakes, sourdough waffles.
Sourdough pancakes and waffles. You're speaking my language.
Yeah. I'll have to give you a starter so you can take it home and make anything sourdough.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
I'm here for that.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I really just want to jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Yes. Grab the kit, my darling.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's brought one of the kits with her, you guys. So I'm super excited. Please break this down, what this is and what do we do?
Yeah, so Mind Body Jeans, we are a genetics company. We're a holistic health company, and we do DNA testing. Now, a lot of you are probably like, oh, I know about that. I've heard of 23andMe. Oh my gosh, they sell your data. It's scary, blah, blah, blah. So the difference is we have holistic practitioners that are trained in epigenetics. And the first thing to say about that is genetics are static and you can't change your genes, right? But epigenetics is what's really important. And that's where you can actually influence how your genes behave. So before this, we were talking about wanting to live a really long, healthy life and be able to do all kinds of things. That's what you have control over. So epigenetics is basically how your lifestyle and daily choices influence your genes that are already in your body.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, we, this runs in my family. I'm destined to this. Some people stop there. And where we try to educate people on, especially women, is that you may be prone to things based on your genes, but you actually have all the power. You have all the power to control it and to what we call upregulate or turn off or turn on certain genes. So if you have something that, you're trying to avoid, like not being able to have mobility when you are older, or maybe it's insulin resistance, maybe it's a family history of diabetes, things like that. What this does, this cheek swab is all it is. It's not a fancy blood test. You don't have to go to a lab. You don't have to do all of that. You swab your cheek and it lets us know the thousands of genes that you carry in your body, what they are, and what your specific variants are. And so what that does is it tells us what type of fats you need to eat, if you maybe have an issue with dairy or gluten, or if you don't need to worry so much about it and stress out about all of the rules that people are telling you. We have a longevity report that tells you, basically all of these tools that are available now and are very trendy, like cold plunges and saunas and things like that. Are they worth it for you? Do they move the needle? Which exercises are right for you? Okay. What diet is best for you? I say that with air quotes because, girl, we've been through the ringer with diet culture, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we've heard it all. Low fat, no fat. Oh, wait, everybody needs to eat nothing but fat. Keto, carnivore, low carb, high carb, eat for your blood type, eat this, eat that. And it's so confusing.
It's a
Women
lot.
are out here what's going to be the next trend? What do I do? And we, in the process, put our bodies through so much instead of just tuning back in, right? So what we do is we teach people how to tune back into themselves through their own genes and learn what's best for them so that they don't have to listen to the wellness noise. They don't have to listen to all the things out there, the trends, or jump on the next thing, because frankly, that is a lot of time and energy and mental space spent on what's right for me. What should I do? Should I do this? Or, oh, my friend had a lot of success with this, so maybe I should try it. And sometimes it doesn't work when you try all those things, right?
Right. Yeah, I can attest to that, in these 47 years of life, weight going up and down, having kids, and just trying to figure out the best way to like try to stay healthy. I mean, because it is so confusing because you hear, oh, well, you need to go vegan, or, but vegans don't get enough protein, or you need to, like you said, there's so much outside noise. You almost just don't know which end is up anymore.
Yeah.
And I do know a lot of people who, keto seem to be very successful for them, but I also have a friend that did keto diet and ended up with the triple bypass surgery.
Yeah.
So it just too fatty. So it's like, you just don't know. It's like, oh yeah, you great. You look beautiful.
Yeah.
But then she had a heart attack.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't, it is so much.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Mediterranean diet and this and this and this. So it's like, we all know that we need to eat better. We all are adults. We know that Cheetos is not real food. Let's be real. We know Cheetos contains no food.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's trying to curb those addictions to sugars and bad things, and really just trying to put your best foot forward every day. And this seems like a nice, like, it gives you like a baseline.
It does. It gives you a foundation. And so one of the things we do is we always try to start with the genes first. It's like you can do all kind of testing. You can find testing for anything out there. You can do blood testing. You can do hormone testing. All of those things are valuable. You can do gut testing. But the thing about the genes is that they never change. And so you don't have to keep retesting. My health journey started in 2020, and I was like, okay, I've got to figure out why I'm tired all the time, why I feel like I'm just weight loss resistant, like nothing can move the needle, right? Like doing all the right things.
Yeah, and then you plateau, and then you get frustrated because the scale doesn't move anymore. And
Exactly.
You're like, okay, well, what do I do now?
And you don't feel good. I was like, 2020 was a great example of I was listening to everything people were saying. I was listening to everyone but myself. I was trying to take advice from naturopaths, from the internet, from influencers, from all the things. Oh, you need to do this. I was collecting so many supplements. I was doing
Detox
so many
teas,
things. Yes.
Juice cleanses.
All the things to try to make my body feel good and optimized. And then shortly after that, I found genetics, and I was like, this seems like a natural way to learn what I actually need. So I did it. I was just like, let me do this. Let me test myself and see like what's going on. I worked with somebody who taught me about the genes and like what we do now, fast forward. And I learned so much, and it changed the game for me, because I literally, for the first time ever, was like, oh, that's why X, Y, and Z didn't work for me. That's why, I never see benefits from exercise alone, because I don't carry genetic markers that have a high benefit of weight loss from exercise. So I spent how many decades of my life going to the gym thinking the only reason why I need to do this is to be skinny, right? And it was the wrong mindset. My mindset needed to be like, okay, this is for my longevity. This is for my bone density.
For my mobility later in life. Yes.
And and I know that maybe sounds like duh, but it took me seeing myself on paper to know, oh, that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle was I don't detox very well. Naturally, my phase 2 detoxification is very slow and needs support. And so the whole time I'm doing these crazy detoxes and cleanses and blah, 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 I wasn't addressing my drainage pathways. I wasn't addressing things that were actually going to move the needle for me. I was just hitting it with all the things that were like, hey, you haven't even addressed your detox pathways. You're eating the wrong type of fat for you. Come to find out, just like your friend, I am not somebody who should do keto. I'm not somebody who should do hardcore carnivore, because I don't thrive with a lot of saturated fat. I thrive with a lot of omega-3s. I thrive with a lot of monounsaturated fatty acids. I don't thrive with saturated fat. I can have it, but if that's my predominant source, or if I go on a hardcore keto, it will not work. And so I was like, oh, this is such freedom. So I did a very, what I consider to be a very Becca thing. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to do this for other people. I'm going to change people's lives with it. It changed my life so much that I was like, I'm going to go back to school, right? My degree originally was in hospitality, hence the coffee shop and all that. But I had always been obsessed with food. I'd always been obsessed with like the science behind it. I learned a lot in college about that because of my emphasis and my minor. But I was like, how do I learn more about wellness? Something that I just deeply like love and am passionate about. So I went back to school during like the whole COVID 2020, 2021. And it was luckily online. And I learned everything I could about epigenetics. I got certified. I got double certified. I learned about epigenetics. I learned about peptides. I learned about biomarkers. And I really just got so obsessed. And that's when Mind Body Genes was born. And so the company started out of a need to just help others with what had changed my life. And I was like, if I help 5 people, great. If I help my family, awesome. But it became so much more than that because the ripple effect was real. Every time I did one of these on somebody and literally gave them the map or the blueprint to themselves, we call it a blueprint because it literally gives you the cheat codes to your own body. And when we started doing that for people, the ripple effect was huge. It was like, oh, I'm going to tell everybody I know about this because they need it. And it was just so true. It was the gap out there of like what we're learning at the doctor versus what we can actually do at home and the time that is spent on our health and our wellness when we go to our checkups and things like that. You know, it's 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're like, pee in this cup, write your name on it and drop it off at that window. And then we'll call you if anything's abnormal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not.
Yes.
It doesn't dive deep into like, look, why am I busting my butt in the gym 5 days a week and I'm trying to cut my calories and I weigh the same? Or, you know what I mean? And granted, you know, you're gaining muscle mass and all those good things, but it's like, you know, when you have like, for us as women, like we put this goal, this number in our head and it's like, I want to hit this number. Or like you say, when you stop seeing that needle move and you stop seeing progression and you're kind of like, it gives you this sense of like hopelessness and like what's next.
Get frustrated,
and this,
discouraged.
Yes, and this really seems to be able to tell you what's wrong. Like, well, maybe it is, like you said, like some type of gluten intolerance. Maybe it's some type of lactose intolerance, or you're bloated, or you need a really good, you know, probiotic. Maybe you need some type of special way that your body has to cleanse itself.
What type of
think
supplements?
That's amazing.
What type of supplements are right for you? Because we can spend so much money on those things, and it's like,
girl, much money.
What are we wasting money, or are we spending it on things that are good for us? And for me, you know, I was being super restrictive. I was like, I went dairy-free and gluten-free in 2020. I was that way for years. And I woke up one day in conjunction with my genes and I was like, oh, I am literally causing way more damage to myself. Nothing in my genetics says that I need to be gluten-free or dairy-free. So I was doing it because everyone was telling me, oh, you have, you know, hypothyroid. You need to stop eating gluten, stop eating dairy. I was so much more inflamed. I have like videos and pictures of myself back then when I was very restrictive. And I can tell you, I eat everything now. I'm very choosy about the ingredients. I'm very choosy about the quality, right? Sourdough. I'm choosy about the type of dairy. I'm very aware of that. And we eat a very balanced diet, but I am not on a diet. I was on a diet back then. I was restricting myself to the point of misery. I was working out all the time. And now 40 pounds lighter, eating more than I ever have, enjoying ice cream whenever I want, having, you know, working out in a way that suits my body. We see exercise genetics. We see hormone genetics. We look at all your micronutrients. We look at nutrition. We look at sleep. We look at detox pathways. We look at all of the areas that for a woman or a man, if you look at all of those areas that you can impact in your lifestyle and you can just make tiny changes, sometimes giving yourself more permission to have more and less restriction, it's amazing what can happen. It's truly amazing when you can actually be like, I don't care what anyone else says. I'm going to listen to what my genes say. Then that's when you get true freedom. I fully believe it.
What exactly are the detox pathways?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in the detox panels, we actually look at not only how you process environmental toxins, because they're everywhere, right? So we have, you know, from pollution to chemicals in products, chemicals in food. We look at that. How sensitive are you? And then your actual detox pathways are from phase 1 to phase 3 really is what we look at. So phase 1 is kind of how it's our first line of defense against toxins. So it's like, how sensitive are you to chemicals, to mold, to certain over-the-counter medicines, right? To things like that. And then we look at, okay, how sensitive are you? But then also, how do you convert those into water-soluble forms and actually excrete them from your body? We sweat, we have urine, feces, bile that works for us every day, right, in our body, and the natural process of sweating, going to the bathroom, detoxing out. You've probably heard of terms like lymphatic drainage and
Yes, I've heard. Yes,
things like that. So through that system, through all of our systems in phase 2, there's a lot of complicated processes like catalase, glucuronidation, glutathione conjugation, all these things that sound super sciencey, but what it actually is it's how our body eliminates toxins out of our system. And so we can see where a person is weak or strong. And for me, I had 3 areas where I really need support, and I wasn't giving support there. I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on other things. And so sometimes you may have a really strong, phase 2 detox, but you might need more support in phase 1. Or some people may have a really hard time eliminating estrogens. That's in phase 3, where we eliminate all of these estrogen metabolites that we're getting from food, from products, from things like that. And we're not offering our body enough antioxidant support or enough of the right tools. So it's just a really, really cool way to kind of deep dive into the science of what our body's doing on default every day.
Wow. So like sweating is a way of detoxing?
Sweating
like
is a way of detoxing,
sweating,
walking in the Houston heat, going in a sauna, doing any of those things, even rebounding, like jumping on a trampoline, that gets our lymphatic system moving. Hot Epsom salt baths, things like that. Tools, like there's so many tools. Red light therapy. There's, people that do dry brushing. There's, lymphatic, like the gua sha, like that's a form of lymphatic drainage and all that. And so it's not like you have to do everything, but once you learn your genes and your patterns, you can be like, okay, this is a win for me. This is something I don't need to worry about too much. And you have all these tools. Instead of having to use them all, you can actually figure out what's right for me. Where do I need to put my focus on? For me, a lot of it was glutathione, and that's our body's master antioxidant. So when you're wanting to boost your glutathione system, if that's you too, then you want to do things that, take some precursors. You want to make sure you're taking a lot of vitamin C, a lot of NAC. You're incorporating things like holy basil and tulsi into your life. So I do that through tea, which I love coffee, but I'll do tulsi tea at night. Also just, like supporting yourself through other tools. Like I'm somebody that I'll try anything. So I'll try things like coffee enemas because those can increase your glutathione by 700 times. And for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, absolutely. That's a tool for me. May not be for everybody. Right. But I know doing those once or twice a week has completely changed my digestion, my detox capabilities. It's increased my glutathione where I don't have to worry about that because I know my genetics are showing me, hey, you need help, you need support here. And when I can support that, my whole body feels better. Yeah.
It's no different than like when you're in school and it's like, look, I need extra support in math. I'm good in English. You know what I mean? That's it. I have to just break it down in like layman's terms. It's like, look, I need a tutor because I'm old menopausal woman and I get constipated, so I need a tutor.
Yeah, some of us absolutely.
My mind, body, genes. That makes sense to me.
Some of us have weak spots in places we would never even guess because we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be told by a traditional blood test that, oh yeah, you need more glutathione. We wouldn't be told things like, oh, you have high choline needs for women. I'm telling you, like I can go off on a tangent on micronutrients because we take a multivitamin, we take fish oil, we do all these things, and we're like, wait, do we need that? And for me, it's like, I take a multivitamin every day that's blended for my genetics, and all of our clients do too. They have the option to do that. And then I take things that support me. So I take high doses of choline every day because yes, you can get it through your food, but am I going to eat 1 million egg yolks every day? No. My needs are so high. So even if I eat eggs, eat all the vegetables that have choline in it, eat the liver, do things like that, I still know my body has high choline needs and a really severe deficiency response when I don't have enough choline. Well, imagine if they would have told me that, 13 years ago when I started having kids. Like that would have been such a game changer. And a lot of the times for women, there's, we have health challenges, especially in like our fertility years. And we're like, why is this going on? And sometimes I've seen it happen with clients where there's just these gaps in either nutrition or gaps in supplementation that we're not filling with just the generic multivitamins out there. You know, we're not saying take a million things. I'm not a big fan of taking like 17 supplements.
Because your body can only absorb so much of those supplements, correct? So you're taking these 17 pills, but how much are you actually gaining?
Well, and genetically too,
that,
like we can see there's people who are taking things that are incorrect forms for them. So like for me, I need a certain type of vitamin A because I don't convert it well. Okay. I found that out through my genes. I need, you know, I don't have a high absorption of vitamin D. So for me, I need to make sure I'm going out in the sun more than others. And I'm taking vitamin D as, you know, to be able to maintain my body every single day, you know, and you can confirm all that, you know, through the genes and through blood labs. There's a lot of ways to confirm what's actually happening, which is the coolest thing about it is you can see it on paper. You can compare your symptoms, work with a coach that's well trained in it. So we started training coaches back in 2023. So it's been a couple years now. We have over 25 Mind Body Genes certified coaches. Some of them are dietitians, nutritionists, personal trainers. We all have different specialties.
Wow.
Some are specialized in longevity. Some are specialized in fertility. Some are specialized in autoimmune. And so depending on what your unique needs are, we can match you with a coach that has the exact skill set that you need, that knows how to read these genetic blueprints.
That's amazing. So from you go online, you order your kit, it comes in, we do all the swabbing, we package everything up. How long to like get the results and to start finding out the best things for your body?
Great question. It takes about 4 weeks maximum, sometimes 2 to 4. So as soon as it's a cheek swab, as soon as you swab, and it literally, I can show you what it looks like. It has everything in there that you need. So QR code, cheek swab, you don't have to go to a lab. You return it in. It has this handy like bag that you return it in and the kit instructions. Everything's in there. You pop it in your mailbox. It gets to the lab. Once it gets to the lab, we sequence it. So we sequence all your DNA. And that's basically taking the epithelial cells that are inside of your cheek, and we sequence all of your DNA. And then once that results, it goes into our secure portal, which you and only your coach have access to. So very different than a direct-to-consumer, meaning like something you can just go online and buy. Yes, you can go to Mind Body Genes and buy this, but you're buying it knowing that you're working with a certified practitioner instead of just getting the results to your inbox and having to decode it yourself. Because a lot of people are like, what does this mean? They'll do like an ancestry kit and they'll be like, oh, I don't know what any of this means. It's a bunch of letters and numbers. And that's true. That's what we're looking at is a bunch of letters and numbers. We're looking at your genes, but a coach is where you're going to you'll have a session with a coach. So you'll have about an 1.5 to 2 hour session, depending on, you know, how many panels you do. Our standard blueprint is all 6. So it's nutrition, sleep, micronutrients, hormones, exercise, and detox. So it's all 6 of your panels. And that one usually takes about an 1.5. And you do a Zoom so we can work with anybody all over. It's not just Houston based. And you get a Zoom with your coach, either myself or any of our trained certified coaches. And we literally go through all of your panels. You leave that with knowing exactly what you need to do. Which supplements are recommended for you, what nutrition plans recommended, any detox tools, best exercises. You learn how you're coded, where some of the things that you're dealing with, right? Because everyone's different. You may come in and be like, hey, I want to age really well. I want to be able to lift things when I grow up. I want to live a long life. We added some longevity panels. That's an option. It's called Age Like a Badass. And so I was like, okay, this is perfect because for women, we want to know exactly how to do that. Exactly how to age like a badass.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want to be, like you said earlier.
First in line, right?
I don't want to be walking around with a walker.
No, that terrifies me. I don't want a hump in my back. I don't want a walker. I don't want to be immobile. I don't want to be bedridden at any point. I just wouldn't want to have that low quality of life. So that's why something like this, I was like, I need to get her on here because, you know, really information is power. So the more you know about your own body, the better advocate you can be for yourself.
100%.
So I just felt that this was just super duper important because, and is there certain age groups that benefit more from this? Or
honestly, any age. I have seen, we see kids all the way up to like 80-year-old adults. It's never too late and it's never too early. So I've done my entire family and my youngest is 7. We've done all of our genes and there's things that we're going to learn about a 7-year-old that aren't going to apply until she's older. But what's great about it is having those pieces of information now so that as a mom, you can support your kids, you can, you know, cook the right things in your house, you can do the right things, and then you can give them that information when they're older. My oldest is 13. He's super into it. So he's like, he knows all his genes. He's like, oh yeah, I know about this because he's like really interested in, he's a cross country athlete. He, you know, he's growing up. He's becoming a teenager, right? He's almost 14 and he's like really interested in it. So there's no right or wrong age. You know, I did it after a long health journey that led me to a lot of expensive testing. And it was it was really my last ditch effort. I was like, I'm going to try this and let's see what happens because there's got to be something missing. Nothing else is working.
Right.
And for some people, it's the first thing they do. And that's great. If it would have been the first thing I did, it could have saved me a lot of heartache, but it also wouldn't have led me to doing it the way I did. So no, there's no wrong or right time. Even my parents' age, like they did their blueprint and my dad was able to change so much about what he was doing.
Wow.
You know, his knowledge level was not as high as our generation, where it's like we know more because we were, you know, they grew up in different times. So it's like we talk about how we're seeing our grandparents, our parents' age, and we're like, oh my gosh, you know, we're seeing some decline early. And we're like, we don't want that to be the reality. So we're having to not only teach them, hey, do this, but also like help shape future generations. And I think that's what's so cool about it, is that you can really make such a big impact on generations to come from just getting that knowledge. Like you said, knowledge is power.
Yeah. I think what I love the most about it, though, is just that I'm very much, when something is tailored to me or it's personalized and it is for me.
Oh, 100%.
Like that is the most important thing to me because, like you said, I can try this keto, I can try vegan, I can try all these things. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, was that actually meant for me?
Well, imagine having to put like the same face of makeup or same shades on every single person.
Absolutely
you would
not.
Just die.
I can't.
You'd be like, no.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, you tailor it to your client.
Yes, exactly.
And you're so right. Like, think about things like personality tests or Enneagram or even astrology or things that we love. A personalized thing. We love to take. We love it because why would we not? We're all so unique. We were all made so unique. Like no two people are exactly the same. Right. We've even done twins that like there's variations between twin genetics. Like there are.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and just looking at myself and my siblings, 3 completely different body types.
Absolutely.
My brother's tall, thin, very muscular, you know, works out, you know what I mean? Just very, and I'm the short middle child, very much a pear. Yeah. Even when I was small, I still had wide hips. I was a pear. I had to just different body shapes and types. Unique. It's like, yes, we have the same parents, but we pulled genetically different things from each of them, you know, and from our ancestors and things like that. So it's like having something that's tailored to you that tells you more about your body. I just think it's phenomenal.
It's because a game changer.
It's a game changer because when I tell you, like, I don't want to try another crash diet. I don't want to.
Don't do it.
I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to know what is best for me at this. What is the best thing I can do for my body at the age that I'm in and the stage of life that I'm in right now. Yeah. So for women, I think this is especially amazing. I'm not knocking the dudes. I'm just saying for women, for us, I feel like hormonally we do go through more changes. We do go through more ups and downs. You got perimenopause and menopause, your childbearing years, you know, your teenage years where you're breaking out and you're getting your first period. Like it's insane. Our body goes through so much torment.
So much. And imagine too, like, none of the studies out there were really designed to look at how women respond to things.
Big facts.
So the funniest thing is that without our own genetic data, like how do we even know what works for us? We're just listening to a bunch of one size fits all, like mansplaining health info. That's all we're listening to. And so that
bourbon and bacon and butter.
It doesn't work.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
And it's so comical to me because we would like back in the day, my husband and I would like go on Whole30 together. And like he'd like 1 week be like 30 pounds lighter and like so much energy. And I'd be like, I have so much brain fog and I'm not doing well and I'm actually gaining weight. Like, I don't know what's up with me. And it's like, I was just doing it the wrong way. I was doing it like him. I was doing it like a dude. I'm like, no, he can live off bacon and eggs every morning and lots of fats. And I'm like, I was just literally tanking my system unknowingly until we know better, we can't do better. And so that's what it is. It's like, once we know better, we can do better. And I can tell you, I have, like I said before, I have more freedom than I've ever had when it comes to like how I live my life and what I put in my body. I don't think about like, I mean, I used to say no to things that were so joyful. I used to say no to like having an ice cream sundae with my kids because I was like, no, I can't have the dairy and the sugar and this and that. And dairy-free ice cream sucks for the most part. And like, I was just like, ugh. And then I realized like that was actually causing me way more stress, which for me, genetically, stress is a big factor.
Cortisol,
stress response, our own specific COMT status, which I know sounds like a foreign thing, but it's how we respond to stress. Like we all have these genes, COMT, MTHFR, you know, all these really cool genes that tell us how you were wired to handle stress. And stress back in our ancestors' days was like running from a lion or running from a bear. Stress these days, our body cannot tell the difference between that and getting an email that pisses us off. You know? So we live in this stressful modern world where every minute on our phone, we're getting notifications. Yeah. We're dealing with, you know, stuff for our kids, our spouse, our life, our business. We're busier than we've ever been. And so we're running from all these lions every single day, and our body doesn't know the difference. So we maybe saw, you know, a lion every few months or whatever. Like we didn't have to do that back then, right? Before we lived.
Yeah, now you're in traffic every day.
You're in traffic. You're somebody, your boss is annoying. You're somebody, your friend's mad at you. Your kids are screaming. There's tantrums. There's construction. And we're in all this undue stress. Well, when I learned about how my body actually processes stress and how I respond, I was like, it's no wonder in times of stress, when I go super restrictive and I go like, okay, let me try to control everything and I try to do too much and I try to add more to my plate in times of stress, I actually I get inflamed. I don't do well. I'm more sensitive to certain foods. I can't tolerate things. But when I'm actually in a state of ease and learn how to work with that, it's the freedom. The Sundays are on the table again, right? And I'm enjoying things with my kids that I used to just say no to because I realized the big important shift was the stress. The stress was a big factor we see it in the genes all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there certain things that we can do as far as like helping to like ease the stress or is it more specific? Like, I know this is very specific, but like, are there certain, like, is there like a baseline thing that you can do for like the stress or like
absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like breathing exercises.
Are there things that fits everyone?
Are there things that fit everybody?
Yes, there are. So morning sunshine is a big one. And I know this, it's free too, which is great. So it's like a free tool. Getting out in the sunshine, letting your skin be in the sun. We were just talking about being tan, right? Getting sunshine into your eyes first thing in the morning, whether that's at sunrise or whether you like to sleep in and you want to do it before 10 a.m., getting intentional exposure to the sun, you know, safely before the dangerous UV comes into play and you need to put sunscreen on, right? There's a really beautiful thing that happens with your cortisol regulation, with your hormone production for women specifically for morning sunshine. It's one of the biggest epigenetic modifiers out there that, you know, it doesn't matter what this says, you can go out in the morning sun and benefit. You said breathing. That's an amazing tool, right? Breath work.
Yes.
You know, honestly, doing less is one of the hardest lessons to learn for women because we want to do more. When it comes to stressful times, we want to white knuckle, we want to grip everything, we want to control. I know for me, that's a huge thing. When I stopped doing a lot of the things that I thought were helpful, my body started to finally respond. Like when I stopped going to the gym for an hour a day and instead doing things that were actually like doing my weighted vest walks, getting some light strength training in, doing Pilates, doing yoga, doing some things that were more supportive for my body, especially if I was under a lot of stress, right? Going to the gym for an hour and really doing a lot of HIIT or doing a lot of like really crazy intense stuff while you're in stress can sometimes have the opposite effect.
I realized that because I've tried multiple different types of gyms and programs, and I was talking to my friend, Dr. Danielle Griffin, about it too, because she has some really great books that she's written about breathing and things like that and being intentional. But the F45, like that flipping tires and things like that, it was causing me more stress and anxiety dealing with that. Okay, got to run around the building and you got to knock the mosquitoes off. And
same thing.
It's like, it was just too much for me. It's like, I tried it for the 45 days and I was like, okay, I can't, this is not for me. Yeah. I finally found with P-Volve, like, my spot. Like it's indoors. It's like 99% women.
Yeah.
And we get in there and we do amazing things for mobility and just
strengthening.
Yeah, strengthening and mobility. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And you break the best sweat. And then I leave. I go in happy and I leave happy that I did it. Even though like I'm sore and I'm exhausted, I'm so happy. And I've noticed the difference just since April. Just in the way I feel, in the way that I move, and how I can pick up heavier things and not even think twice about it. You know,
it's incredible.
So finding what is specifically right for your body is just it's so important. Like I can't stress that enough. And the fact that you have this to where it is specifically tailored to me and my needs. Just that's one of those knocked it out of the park moments. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. You can't get more personal than your own genetics, right? So it's like we're here to guide and we're here to coach and we're here to do all those things, but ultimately the answers are inside of you, right? The answers are in us. And I think that's beautiful because a lot of us, we seek things outside of ourselves to try to heal, to try to calm, to try to regulate our nervous system. But a lot of the times it's actually tuning right back into your body that is what does the trick. Like you were talking about movements and what can we do on a daily basis for stress. And, you know, I found that somatic movements were really helpful too during times of stress.
Somatic exercise,
being
absolutely.
able, like you wouldn't think they're so minute. They feel like for somebody like myself and like you, highly ambitious, high achiever women, we really like, we have this like warrior kind of vibe to us. We need to slow down more, right? And so when I first started doing them, I was like, this is like gonna do nothing. This is like, I'm basically just swaying back and forth. Well, let me tell you, I was proven wrong. I mean, it's huge. Like, I mean, this trauma and the stress we hold in our hips, that we hold in our bodies, that we carry from, you know, not only like carrying children physically, but, you know, being the ones that manage the schedules, that manage like a lot of the household things, we carry so much stress. And so of course, being gentle with ourselves and doing things that support us, like whether that's P-Volve, Pilates, somatic movements, yoga, walking in nature. I can't tell you how just walking around my neighborhood has like, yes, it's hot, it's humid, but I'm like walking around my neighborhood has changed my whole like emotional well-being.
I've spoken about that so much on this podcast. I kid you not. Everybody knows I have 3 Yorkies. I have a big double stroller. I throw them in there and walking around my neighborhood 3 or 4 miles, you know, just around all the duck ponds and just being in nature and taking deep breaths. It has done the most for my mental health.
Absolutely.
Like I work things out during my walk, you know, and sometimes, I'm chit chatting with my dogs, but I'm just walking and thinking, I don't even need the earbuds. I don't need the music. I don't necessarily need a podcast. It helps me work through much. So, because I noticed that because of the lack of sleep, like the walking and the working things out in my brain helped me not work it out in the bed when I'm like this and I'm not really sleeping and I'm making a grocery list in my brain.
That's so relatable. Like you're so tired all day. You're like, you can't wait to get in bed. You get in bed and all of a sudden you're like,
can't sleep.
Popped open. Like you can't, like your eyes are just like, can't sleep. You're thinking about all the things. Those walks, I mean, I have some of my best ideas on them. I'll keep my phone like near me somewhere in like a little fanny pack. And sometimes I'll take my note section out and I'll just be like, write it really quick. Cause I'm like, some of those best things come to me when I can clear, you get out of your house, you get out of your phone screen, you get out of your TV, you get out of anything else. You just get in your own zone and you can actually focus. That's a really huge impact. And 3 to 4 miles, girl, you are doing so much for not only your mental health, but your longevity, your bone density, your strength, like all of that. Like that's incredible.
Yeah. And not to mention my doggies love it.
And your dogs love it.
But it's such a mind clearing thing, but also it's the peace of it. Like it's that peacefulness because, you know, I'll put my phone on vibrate. Yeah. There's no excess chatter. Yeah. You can really just focus for that, whether it takes you an hour and a half. If you can carve that little bitty time out for yourself, that hour, it will do wonders.
It sounds hard, but it will
do wonders.
You will get more time back. Like it just creates this like exponential time for yourself when you can actually carve out some of that time. And maybe it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have an hour and a half. Okay, do you have 30 minutes?
30 minutes, that's
it. Start there. Yeah. You know?
And I have to say, for me though, the treadmill didn't work.
No, girl, I hate the treadmill.
I have to go outside. I
treadmill.
can't stand a treadmill.
Neither can I.
I literally hate. I have to go outside. I have to feel
like a hamster wheel. It feels like I'm not.
I feel like I'm going nowhere.
Like,
and I'm looking at the pictures and I'm walking and I'm like, yeah, it's not.
No,
it's not the same.
No.
I have to physically go outside with the stroller and just walk it out.
When it's like bad weather and I can't go outside, I'm like, oh, dang it. And sometimes I still will if it's like not like if it's cold and we're kind of wimps in Houston, I'll bundle up and go.
I will bundle up and go in a hot second.
I'm like,
I love
you know what? Let's bring some water. Like, let's bring some electrolytes on our walk. We're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. Like, if it's cold, I don't care. That's great for me for the hot flashing.
Absolutely.
I could care less. But
there you go. There you go.
But even now, like, I'm like, oh, because down here in Texas, we're like, oh, it cooled off to 95.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. The humidity.
It's 95. I'm going to go for a walk,
Yeah, there's a lot of clouds today. Wow, great. Yeah.
Great, exactly. But this, I just am so excited that I was able to spend this time with you today.
Me
because
too.
I feel like this is such an important thing. And I hate to keep saying it, but I'm like, especially for women.
No, especially for women. I mean, that's why it's pink. That's why it's pink and green and cute, because it's like we need something for women specifically. And a lot of the men that end up doing this, guess what? They're like the husbands or the brothers or the significant others of the women that do it first, because they're like, hey, I want to get my whole family on board with this because it's important. And they do see such high benefits. Like my husband, he saw so many benefits after doing his. I have 2 boys and a girl. I'm like, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the women, like, it's a game changer. Because we are the ones, guys are not out there like on Instagram listening to all these influencers saying stuff and like doing all these things, and we're doing that. We're doing that. So we need
billion-dollar industry, all this stuff.
100%. Yeah. So we need something. We needed something that was like going to tell you don't need all that other stuff. You can actually just listen to yourself. The guys, they don't need it as much as us. They can still benefit, but they're not out there getting confused and cloudy, and they're not up there making the lists at night and the grocery list in their head. Let's be honest. Yeah. But so we need that. Yes. So I'm glad you said that.
And I don't feel like their needs change as much as our needs.
No, they don't.
It's like every decade, you need this in your teens and in your 20s and your 30s and your 50s. I feel like our body changes so much.
So much.
Each decade, it's like each new chapter you jump into, you're like, holy crap, what's going on with my body now?
Yeah. They're, especially when we talk about their hormones.
Yes.
They're on a 24-hour clock. It's just like everything is just boom, 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 boom. We are on this 28-day cycle. 28-day-ish.
There you go.
Having to explain that to somebody that doesn't live that life, like it is why men and women are so different. It's because they don't have those same fluctuations. Like my sunny disposition when I'm ovulating and in my follicular phase is like so amazing. And then when I'm in my luteal and I'm like going towards, and of course, because now that I'm almost 37 and like entering into the perimenopause years, it can be rough. And but if you don't know that and you're not listening to your hormones and you're not like tuning in, I mean, for years before my 30s, I just thought I was psycho. Like every month I thought I just turned into a psychopath. And I'm like, it's our hormones. We're not meant to operate the same way every day. We're meant to slow down during this luteal phase. We're meant to slow down and tune into our bodies when we're not on this hormonal high. In menopause and perimenopause, we're meant to approach things differently. And so we need that. We need the information on ourselves.
Yes. Thank you, girl. And I just scream it from the mountaintops.
Thank
you guys.
You. Thanks for having me
Mind, Body, Jeans. Please tell everybody how they can get their kits and how they can find you.
Yeah, we're on all platforms at Mind Body Jeans, and our website is www.mindbodyjeans.com. And if you are a listener of this podcast, you can get $200 off too with special code.
Hello. So, everything will be in the description bar of the episode, you guys. Everything will be down there.
Yep.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Because we have a lot of women that listen to this podcast, so I feel like this would be phenomenal. You guys are going to love this. I can't wait for you guys to start getting your kits and leaving your feedback and let me know what you find out. Thank you so much, Becca. This meant the world to me that you took time out of your very busy schedule to be here with me. Busy mama, business owner, so I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much for checking us out on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. Any information from this episode will be listed in the description bar. And that's it for us, you guys. So we wish you wonderful, wonderful mental health and physical health as well. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye.
Take care.